Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle, and we're going to look at a couple of projects that I brought back last night. I had the opportunity to talk with a group of avid anglers. They belong to the Hudson River Fishermen's Association. They're a North New Jersey based organization that's dedicated to keeping the Hudson River clean, fighting pollutants, doing environmental work, as well as organizing special events for mostly for children in and around the northern New Jersey and southern counties of New York, which border on the Hudson River and their estuaries. Well, we had an opportunity to talk last night about getting ready for the upcoming fishing season, how to take care of your tackle, how to make sure that it is ready to go when you're ready to go, and some of the best practices and the like. Well, one of the things that came out of the meeting, was the opportunity to meet an awful lot of great people and to get feedback on local fishing spots and that. So, net on that is if you have fishing clubs in your area, I would encourage you to join them, particularly if they have an interest in preserving the environment. Most fishermen do, and in working to pass on education for the future generations. That's kind of what it's all about, passing the torch. Well, before I arrived there, I had some folks that knew I was coming and brought some fishing reels, and I thought I would kind of preview for you the reels that we'll be working on, some of the problems that exist, and maybe some of those that we'll try to make to videos. One of the fellows I met there and his wife, Sandy and Dee, brought me a box of reels, and a couple of interesting stories. We had some fun with that one. So this one belonged to Sandy. This is a Penn 155 Beachmaster. He tells me it's one of the first reels that he had, showed me an example of the pole that it was mounted on, and asked me if I couldn't get this one working as best I could. It's very tight now. His goal is to pass this along to his, I believe it was his grandson, and we're going to do our best to clean this one up and make it go. Right now it's very tight, and well, it doesn't have a free spool mechanism going. That can all be corrected, and it certainly will. He also showed me a project that he started on. This is a Shimano Solstice. And well, those of you that watch the channel know from time to time we get reel in a bag projects in. That's what this one looks like. Hopefully we've got enough pieces and parts there to put this one back together again. The Solstice is a nice reel, and it's got that Shimano quality. It's perfect for the ponds and streams and the like, particularly in the 2000 series. And hopefully we'll be able to make that one work and give that one a second chance. He also had a unique reel, not in the sense of the reel itself, but in the sense that this one is a left-handed crank. This is a Penn Pier 209LH left hand, and you just don't find a lot of these around. This one, well, we got a little bit of a knock on this, and we also have a little bit of play in the spool here on that main drive. That was his concern. I'm not as concerned with that little side-to-side knock. That's what happens when the bridge sleeve wears on the bridge post, and that can be corrected. This is usually a matter of just adjusting your side plate piece. And overall, it's running nice. You can see that it needs a little bit of a cleaning. There's some tarnish and some film and the like on there. We're going to get that one back running the way it should. It also brought me an interesting one. I've seen a couple of these around. This is the Daiwa RB 2600. It's a big graphite reel, and unfortunately, it's suffering the fate that a lot of these did. It doesn't have that anti-reverse. So we'll get underneath that one. We'll try and figure out why this reel failed and see if we can restore that. Sometimes they're easy, sometimes they're not, sometimes they need a part, and those parts just aren't available. And then we have a nice one here. This is the Shimano GRX 1200. It's got the easy cast or quick fire in their note. Problem is, it doesn't have the spring. The spring is broken. And well, those are hard to find. We'll see if we can find one and put this one back together again. So overall, we've got a couple of projects from Sandy. We'll see what we can do to make those work. And then we got 3 others that had come along the way. And these are reels that I would say just need some TLC. They're nice reels, but something's gone wrong with them. You can see here, for example, this is an Abu Garcia. It's the 6500, and it's a nice reel overall, but, well, somewhere along the line it lost its little case. Now that's okay. We have the retention clip that's holding in the nut. That'll work, but as long as you're not interested in collecting the reel, if you just want to take this reel fishing, then tuning this one up, and this one is tight. It's not as smooth as you would like it to be. You can see the hesitancy when you go to spin it, and otherwise it's functioning. We're going to call that one dried grease, and hopefully we can make this one clean up and get it out there fishing again. Here's a beautiful reel that we also have. This is a Penn 712. This is the original green series, and this one is in excellent condition. It's been fished, but boy is this one tight. And again, this is an interesting one. I think we can probably show you because, well, it's only a single screw take apart here on the side plate to get underneath it. And we should see, my expectation is to see a lot of dried grease inside. Yeah, so this is what's slowing the reel down. You can see not only do we have grease, but that grease needs a chisel, if you will. Look at it. It needs a chisel to take it off. Well, that's not only just where I scrape, that's in all of the teeth here. It would be in all of the teeth on the main gear, and it would be on the shaft underneath the main gear. And that's what happens when you have a reel that you've been fishing for some time, and then you put it aside. And, well, if you just put it aside in storage, those greases and oils will evaporate, and they will cause a gummy situation like we just saw there. And when that reel gums up, it slows down, and eventually it stops. I think on another preview that we did of a few fishing reels that we're working on, we showed you one that Scott found at a flea market. It was a Daiwa GS90 reel, and that GS90 reel, well, it got to the point where the grease had dried so much that you couldn't even turn the reel with the crank. Well, here's the last one. This is a Penn. I'm thinking 6500. It's usually on the spool here when you lose the badge. Yeah, that's the 650 SS. This one's got a couple of things going on. The drag is not tight, and there's a noticeable kind of a grind going on. And it's always going on here, which usually means main gear. So we're going to have to take this apart and see if it's dirt. It could be a broken piece of line in the main gear clogging a tooth. It could be that there's damage to the main gear where it would have to be replaced. But it's always noticeable right on the top stroke. If you're dealing with a gear noise, and it always happens the same place when you turn your handle, well, that bail's tight there too. But if it always happens in that same place, which is what it's doing here, that's the main gear, because the main gear will make one rotation. So if you have a fishing reel that has a gear ratio, let's say a 5-to-1, your pinion gear is turning 5 times, but your main gear is only turning once. If you found that you had a noise, say here, and here, and here, and here, maybe, 1/5 around every time, then you've got a damaged pinion gear. And if you just got a lot of bad noise, well, it could be something else. It could be sand, it could be a bearing acting up, it could be some other things. At any rate, we're going to try and get underneath this one, find out why this reel failed. And boy, we'd like to get it running again. Again, this is not a collectible reel. There's a lot of cosmetic damage. It's missing its badges. But boy, put some line on it, get it tuned up, make it work the way it should, and it'll be out there for a long time to come catching fish. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the preview as much as I've enjoyed actually presenting at the group last night, learning from those individuals, and even having a conversation about where's some good spots to go fishing right now. So maybe we'll grab the pole. It's supposed to start warming up. Grab the pole and see what we can do in terms of catching some fish. To our first responders, essential personnel, thank you for everything it is that you do to keep us safe. I truly appreciate your efforts. And to everybody, well, learn from what we were talking about last night. Get the gear ready. It's almost time to go fishing. Don't set yourself up for disappointment by bringing in a pole that maybe has old line on it, or maybe has bad grease in it, or maybe it's just not ready to go fishing. Maybe it has dull hooks on your lures because you didn't change out your hooks. Whatever it is, just take the time to do it now. That way, well, you'll be ready to go when you know the fish are there. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle, wishing everybody a great day. Thanks for watching.